Right, you could probably hear Controller in the background, and I am distracted on the game because while I want to talk about things, I don't really want to cry. I just want to have my mind distracted because it's not a personal subject, but for some reason, when I talk about it, I cry. I don't know why. It doesn't even bother me, but I just wanted to give an update because I haven't posted in ages. I didn't know what to talk about, and because I'm struggling, I thought maybe it's a good idea to just be open about it. Because I'm quite a conservative person, I don't like talking about it, especially in person. It's so hard because it feels like I'm putting my burden on people. But if I do it online, I'm not directly talking to anyone about it, so I'm not really putting a burden. Because you have the option to watch. And I don't have to feel like I'm boring anyone in person and just being a nuisance. So it's probably, but I just thought it'd be a good idea. But I haven't really felt myself for a while. Like I feel the same way I did before I was saved, and that's very confusing for me. Because when I was saved, it wasn't straight away, but I was like set free like from like certain struggles I used to deal with. I was set free from it for a long time, and only recently are they back. And it's like constant negative thoughts, and it's like really draining. Throughout the day, I'm just constantly overwhelmed by just things putting me down, like my appearance or the way I act or what I did, the mistakes throughout the day, even the past, and how I could have prevented from things from playing out. And when it comes to going to bed at night, it becomes 100% worse because the distractions throughout the day, talking, working, they all go. So it's like me and like my mind. But I do pray about it and pray to God, and I pray for His help to comfort me, and it works like nearly all the time. But some nights I just feel so sorry for myself, which is it's bad, but I feel so sorry for myself. I feel so hard done by that I kind of just shut off, and I don't want to pray because I don't have the energy to, or I want to sulk and cry myself to sleep. And those are the worst nights because I'm digging myself a deeper hole, and I'm making it so much worse because and then the next day I just feel like just complete awful. I just wake up with no energy because I didn't sleep. I end up having a nightmare about something I've done, and it's like so draining. But for some reason, these past 2 weeks have been such a struggle, and I think it's because I've been working away, and just working away. I don't know. Maybe it brings back how being like away from home, just like how I used to be away from home and stuff like that. But I don't understand my situation. I pray about it all the time. I've thought about it. I just don't know why I feel the way I do, and it's such an annoying thing to know you're struggling, but to not know what you're struggling with. And to cry as well. It's just awful. It's just awful. Even now, I'm laughing about it, but I know, inside, it's like my heart feels so heavy, and it's like a massive burden. And it's like when you get rejected, for like if you ask out, if you're like dating someone, this is the best way I can explain it. If you're dating someone, or you give a present to someone and they reject it and they say bad things about it, and you get that feeling in your heart. That's how it feels. That's how my heart feels throughout most of the day, unless I'm like distracted properly with doing something or stressed out with something. And it hurts. And I wish it would go away, and I don't know why I don't know why it's like that, because I haven't got anything for me to feel that way. I don't get rejected in any sort of way. I've got amazing support from my mum. Even at work, they always ask if I'm alright and stuff, but for some reason I feel like my heart is just being rejected constantly. It's just a massive ball of confusion that I constantly and overthink about and try and figure it out, especially when I try and go to when I go to bed, because all that free time I have in my mind, and it's just a massive, just endless pit of just overthinking, making it so much worse. But during all of that and during all the struggles, I've been pretty stressed out in life. I've been panicking recently if I've been walking in the path that God has planned for me. Because I remember when I'm on fire, I know, like, for certain, like, this is what God has planned. But now that I'm not really on fire, and I'm just trying to get through the days, I'm like questioning, have I am I being forgotten about or something, or like, is this it? Is like, what's happening? Is this in God's will? Is this not? Is this only a season, or am I like walking away from God, or am I don't know what's happening, because I used to struggle with a sin lust. Since turning 18, I don't really get tempted with it anymore, which I've noticed. I don't know why. It's like I've just stopped doing it, and it's not really like I haven't been tempted to go back to it or anything on the lines of that. So it's not like, obviously we sin it every day, but lust for me was such a big sin, and it was so deep, and that used to be one of my sins I used to go to make myself feel better when I used to struggle. But I'm not, thankfully, by the grace of God, I don't do that anymore. But praise God. But that's one good thing that I'm like grateful for God doing in my life, is that, like, taking that away. But obviously got to be vigilant always, because it's one of those things that, like, we're going to be dealing with for the rest of our lives. So it's always good to be vigilant and not to get confident, because that's dangerous to get confident, because we can't do anything ourselves but only through Jesus. So I have to keep that on my mind 24/7. But but I do know one thing, and that's, I've got faith in God and what He has planned for me. I mean, one thing that I encourage myself with is that God gave me a purpose to live. When I struggle, I like to think of the time where I was on the bridge. My mind was racing at 1,000,000 miles per hour, thinking of this, that, and the other, and I was so like locked in with giving up and ending it all. But in an instant, like, my mind just stopped thinking, my heart stopped aching, and it was like I was drugged up, and I knew it was only one thing that this could be, and it was Jesus. Because I used to pray all the time for God to take this away and to help me build our relationship up again. But I knew this was supernatural, and there was only one answer for that. So I like to think of that and just be encouraged by it, that anything is possible, and I know God can get me through this hard time. And maybe He'll give me a way to deal with it, because right now I'm not dealing with it well at all. I just I'm counting the days until it'll go away, and when it gets bad, I go to worldly distractions. I don't pray or read. So I know if it is one of those things I might have to deal with for the rest of my life, that there could be a way that I can have a coping mechanism or something, or to prevent me from having these low moods. Because there's actually, like, there's been times where I'm perfectly fine, and I'm carrying on with what God has planned for me, and I'm working normal, talking to my friends normal. It's just the times when that just changes, and I have a low mood, and those low moods can last for ages, for weeks. But we'll see what God has planned. But I know one thing, is He's got great plans. He's always got great plans, and there's proof in that in every born again Christian. Their testimonies are so powerful, and you won't be able to understand it because of how just I can't put it into words. How much bigger God is to what we really realise. He is in control of everything, and it's just something I can't I can't wrap my head around it. I can't, because everything is planned and everything goes into sequence. Just how he I don't know how to explain it, but I'm now just waffling here. But I just wanted to post for a while, and I think maybe because I don't know what to post. I've been like praying to God if this is like to give me ideas, and if this is His will. And I don't have to pray about it more, but I think I might start posting more on just my walk with God. As of right now, I'm struggling, just in general. I could probably post more on maybe when I feel better, and how I felt better, and what God is doing in my life, and how going to church helps me, because going to church helps massively, especially all the encouragement from brothers and sisters and the pastors as well. There's so much support there, and I can feel God's love in that room. It's just when I feel in these low moods with my anxiety, it becomes such a chore and an effort to communicate to people and to actually talk to people. I hate doing it when I'm in these moods. It's like, it's the best way I can explain it is when someone's talking to me when I'm in a low mood and I'm talking back to them, it takes out so much energy because I just don't want to talk to them, and it probably sounds in the meanest way possible, but I just hate it sometimes, and I know it's not healthy whatsoever. So I do pray God can deliver me from that. Now I'm talking about it, because just thinking about it is just it's bad, but definitely good to get something off my chest, because I don't like doing it in person, talking in person, because I just feel like I'm putting a burden on people and being a nuisance, and then I go and overthink about it after. But now I've done it online, it's been a choice to watch it. I don't have to worry about people putting a burden on people and being a nuisance, because it's all been optional. But yeah, God's got a plan, and I've got faith for that, and I know it's good to struggle, and I mean, we all struggle with our own things, and God is always there, no matter what, no matter how dark it can get. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. But thank you for watching. If I was to give you any advice, if you're struggling yourself, take it to God and know that He can give you comfort. And He might not necessarily take it away, but He's a relational God. He can relate to you in your pain and your struggles, and He can comfort you in times of need. And He might not necessarily take it away, because it might build you up, or it might be for a greater purpose that you wouldn't be able to understand, because you're not God, and only God understands, if that makes sense. I hope everyone's having a good day, and God bless.